All right, hey, again, this is just another impulsive, can't help myself video, all right? So for as much as a part of me wants to just walk away from YouTube, there's a part of me that is like, no, you've got to stay because you're talking about things that nobody else is talking about, even though I don't have too many people that watch my videos. So I'm gonna give it another go with this video and put it out there, see what happens, because I just can't help myself today, okay? Now, those of you guys who have been subscribed to my channel and watching my videos the time that I've been on YouTube, which is a couple of years, kind of know me a little bit, I think, at least. You like have a glimpse of me, my lifestyle and my beliefs and what I know and how I live. And I really try to stay out of the matrixy drama as much as I possibly can. But I also dig into it a little bit because then it helps me to continue to put the puzzle together so that others who aren't so good at that, they're not so good at being able to connect the dots and put the pieces together, are able to have a broader perspective. Now, I've talked about this in a lot of my videos that, yes, are deleted, how information in your head isn't going to change anything. That's why they allowed the truth movement to exist, okay? Doesn't mean anything. It's almost like you're pregnant, you're having a baby, okay, and you go to the hospital to have your baby. I didn't go to the hospital to have my baby because I don't go to hospitals unless I'm dying. But I realize most people do. Look at my new face cloth. 100% cotton crochet. The colors are so pretty. I usually stick with light colors, but I couldn't resist. This was just too pretty. Handmade, love it. But most women go to hospitals to have their babies, which I can't relate to on any level. And I understand some women need to be there, but I don't know. It's crazy to me. Anyway. And you bring a bag with stuff for your baby. You're bringing diapers and clothes and anything that your baby might need. Which is really it, because all your baby needs is you and your breast milk. That's it. But now you go to the hospital or wherever, you have your baby, but your baby isn't alive. But you've got your bag with all that stuff for the baby. Now that baby was important while you thought that you were going to have a living baby, right? It's the secondary stuff. Not saying it's not important. It's important to have diapers for your kid, have clothes for your kid, right? Basic necessities. It's important. But if you don't have the baby, then none of it matters, right? None of it. And I know that is, nobody really wants to think about that as a comparison, but we all know that I'm not soft, right? I don't put things out there in a gentle, soft way. I just put it out there as it is. And the truth movement is like that. All right, they're basically giving you the bag with the diapers and the clothes, but there's no baby. And for those of you who have watched my videos in the past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's no baby. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you know. Because your baby, what needs to be alive is fucking you. Your inner light, your spirit, your soul, your whatever you want to call it, your direct link, meaning completely enmeshed with your creator, okay, with your source of life, that which gives you life, not just the animated life through our physical body, okay, not just physical life, because physical life isn't about this. They can make clones, okay? It's not about this. You have to have life from this connection to your creator. And oh my gosh, yep, I swear to God, this happens to me all the time when I'm talking about something that I really want to talk about. Hi. Oh, it's crooked now. I hope you guys are okay with that because my hands are wet. I'll fix it in a second, okay? And so many people in the truth movement are, you know, they believe some God or some savior is going to save them, or, you know, heaven forbid, they actually think some mobster political person is going to save us. Like it's almost at the point where I honestly just like shut my eyes and just like, please, when I open my eyes, let me not be in this fucked up place where people are so brain damaged and not connected to their inner light and have no connection to themselves and to what's real. Because this whole planet is fake, most of it. The overwhelming majority of everything on this planet is fake. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't elements of what's real and what's true. We know that there are. But it is not the predominant energy on this planet. The predominant energy is synthetic and fake. And there's probably a lot of people right now that are more synthetic than they are human because of all the shit that they've done to themselves, okay? So, not to mention what they're doing to us too. So there's some things that we can control by saying no to, and then there's other things that we can't control, all right? But I think there's some of us that are still more human than synthetic, and I think there's some people that are now more synthetic than human, and this is why they're pushing the AI, artificial, digital, CRISPR tech on us so quickly, okay? And I've talked about this extensively in my past videos, but like I said, my videos basically start getting views and then it just completely stops. Just completely stops. So it's really darn frustrating. But I wanted to at least come on today and remind everyone, because I know how easy it is for some people to fall back into a little bit of a sleepy coma. Remember that the push is on really hard right now. Just look around. Look around. It's clearly obvious. Distractions everywhere. Pushing addictive substances like they're good for you. All of the podcasters that have decent audiences pushing complete bullshit. Now, it's not to say they're not pushing some truth, but again, the baby's dead. All right? Just you have to follow along if you want to understand me and be able to follow along with the narrative that I'm actually trying to share with people, because it's your narrative. I'm not here to tell anybody what to think or believe. I'm here to tell people to get your shit together and start realigning with your inner guiding light that is going to guide you through what is happening so that you remain human. Okay? So many people in the truth movement pushing complete garbage. So yeah, they've given you some truth, but now they're pushing nicotine and they're pushing these narratives that are really going to lead you into a fucking ditch. And the thing is, I just really, I'm really torn between my passion for wanting to educate people and wake people up, which I know you can't wake anybody up. I know that. I just want to. I'm sorry. I want to. I want to shake the fuck out of people. But it doesn't work. And I've been reminded of that constantly throughout my life, that it just doesn't work. Actually, I'm going to use this one, my chest and my neck. But I've tried. I've really, really tried. And then I saw the error of my ways, but I really just can't give it up. I can't. Like, I want to give it up, but I can't give it up. There's just something in me. I'm like, why do I care so much? Why do I care so much? I don't know why, but I do. So it doesn't matter what you know. Doesn't matter what's in your bag for your baby if your baby is dead. Your baby didn't make it, okay? So if you don't have your live spirit on board, you are completely lit up from within, directly related to your source. Not believing in all the religious lies and all the bullshit of saviors. Ain't no one coming to save us. No one. Okay? No one. And just wait. Just wait. Just wait. The just wait is the problem. Okay? So, we are saving ourselves. And you're not even saving yourself once you are connected directly to your source, because you're already home. You're already present. Okay, so there's no saving anything or anyone. It's about returning back to this connection. Because once we're here, we are now operating out of an entirely different program. We are now operating from our source connection. Okay, and that's a term that Oracle Girl uses. Before I came across her work, I just used to call it our inner light, our guiding light, our inner light. I've always known that I've had an inner light within me, and I didn't need to follow anything out there. And Oracle Girl calls it our source connection. So again, it's just the same thing, just different language. That's why I resonate with her work so much, because I align a lot with what she presents. They're things that my spirit has always known since I came to this planet. And again, I don't, I don't bow down to anybody, and I don't think anybody has all the answers. I don't think anybody has all of the truth. I like a lot of what she puts out there, because it makes sense to me. And it mirrors a lot of what I already know within me about the deep connection to the planet and the sun, source connection, source light, which is what is helping us to have this upgrade right now. So our human DNA is upgrading. I've talked about this in other videos. Some humans are going from 2 to 4 strands organically, and they're trying to synthetically change that with all of their synthetic programs and like this, microchips, wearables. Think of any of the stuff that they're doing and that's out there right now. It's just all part of the agenda. So all of these big podcasters that are putting out all of this information, and because they put some truth out there, you think they're great, but they're still feeding the agenda, which is why they're not being banned and censored, which is why their videos are getting millions of views, or at least thousands of views, because they're not saying anything threatening, because the baby's dead. Okay? They're talking to people, but the baby is dead. They're not connected. They're not connected. So nothing they say matters. But these same people are going to run out and think nicotine is great, ivermectin is great, methylene blue is great. Oh, Big Pharma don't want us to have it. It must be good. If you believe that, yeah, I feel sorry for you. I do. Really, it pains me. It pains me that people fall for this stuff. And everything going on right now in the media about you-know-who goes by the term president, but we all know that's fake as fuck. There's no such thing. There's no such thing, okay? And again, it just goes to show the level of naiveness that people think voting is real and think that presidents are real, and like they believe the narrative. It's just a Hollywood story. It's a Hollywood drama. So remember, Hollywood and government are the same thing, right? We know that. They're all playing with each other. It's all a drama, right? To fool the plebs, because the plebs are so fucking easy to fool. okay? So easy to fool. And until you are deeply connected to your source light, you're going to be easily fooled. All right? So somebody might be thinking, well, how do I do that? How do I do that? Just do nothing. Stop following anything out there and just sit, be still with yourself. Just like go sit in nature. Go be in nature and just be fucking quiet. Doesn't matter what your mind's doing. Who cares? Let your mind do whatever you want. Your mind is unreliable. It should not be guiding you, and you shouldn't be giving it a second thought. Let it go nuts if it wants to go nuts. You just be still and be quiet. Let your mind do its thing, but start detaching from it. You don't need to follow your mind. You don't need to do what your mind suggests to you. You start living from your inner light, wherever it is. But for me, it's like this part of my body is where I feel truth. This is it for me. It's like my heart and my gut connected. So when people talk about gut instincts, like for me, it's more like heart and gut. There's something there, and then I get this sensation that kind of runs through me that I can't describe. And it's not like electricity or anything like that. It's just this feeling. And it's I know, like I just know, and there's something that is beyond this world. That part of me that is beyond this world that just knows. And it's great when it comes into my mind, and now my mind knows too. And that's great. But I am never going to trust this over this. So all of these podcasters and everybody out there, this, okay? This is what they're doing. There's none of this. And I don't want to name names, but there is somebody out there who has a pretty big audience, and he does have a lot of good information, and I believe that he does have a lot of truth. But he talks a lot about aliens, and he talks a lot about some really crazy shit. And for as much as I believe that some aspects of that are potentially, maybe, accurate in a different way of perceiving, instead of thinking of them as aliens from out there, these aliens are already here and they actually come through humans. I personally no longer believe the narrative that there's aliens out there that are visiting or coming to this planet through spaceships and those types of means. They come through the interdimensional pathways, which means they come in and they inhabit the human and they inhabit the life forms that are on this planet. That is how they come in. That is what I now know and sense and feel and deeply, deeply, deeply believe at the core of my being. Now, does that mean I think there's nothing out there? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the alien narrative is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's not being censored. It's not being banned. It's everywhere. So you have to ask yourself, that's not being censored or banned. Again, the baby's dead. You've got your bag, but the baby is dead. So none of those narratives matter. Okay? Because people can't see through the narrative and go, oh, they're talking about aliens visiting and, all these aliens, but what if that is a really incomplete or not at all accurate description of what is really happening, which means those forces that they consider aliens, those forces come in through portals, invisible portals, because it's energy, right? Come into these portals and inhabit humans. Like sci-fi has been telling us for years. They also show us the scary aliens that we can see too, but they've also shown us the movies where they inhabit the humans, right? Which feels a lot more authentic to me. Now, someone might be saying, well, maybe there's both. I think the alien narrative is part of the agenda that they want us to believe, okay? Because it's promoted by people in places that are not trustworthy, okay? And people that run these channels have millions of followers. So instantly that makes my radar go up, all right? Beep, 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 danger, 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 okay? So whenever I see anybody with any platform that has a lot of followers, like over 100,000 or over 500,000 or over 1 million. Again, it's not to say that what they're not saying, it's not to say that what they're saying isn't true. But again, the baby's dead. And they're probably throwing things in that are absolutely steering people towards the agenda. Because they want everyone addicted. You know this, right? They want everyone addicted because they've got more of this to save you from your addictions, right? So they're priming people for their agenda to be carried out much more easily. They want more mental illness because we've got this for mental illness. We've got this for addictions. We've got this for people who like meat too much. And no, they've got alpha-gal for that too. So they're really on that one. They really don't want you eating meat. So if anything, today, run out and buy more fucking meat. Eat more fucking meat, okay? Go to a farm. Go to a good farm. Ask a lot of questions. Ask what they juice their cows up with, okay? Because I don't want nothing in my cows that's not from nature. I ain't interested in my cows being juiced up with poison. Or my meat of any kind, no matter what I'm eating. Okay, so again, they're on it. They're pushing the agenda hard. And everything you see right now going on with Trump and Epstein, it is pure distraction. Because if you know what's going on with CERN, and if you know what's going on with all the portal shit going on and what they're trying to do there, and what they're coming out with right now to save us, get all the weather stuff going on, look at all the crazy happenings. None of it is a coincidence. None of it. Okay? So we are on the verge of some pretty gnarly shit. And it's really important that we are directly connected to our source. Okay? Because remember, there's two timelines. The organic timeline, which is natural, and the inorganic timeline, which is synthetic. Splitting. Non-human, cyborg, merged with machine, completely controllable. You will no longer be a human, okay? At least not fully. Everything about you will be changed via these lovely people that have caused all the fucking problems in the first place, okay? And then there's the natural timeline, which is what a lot of our ancients have talked about, is returning to paradise. Returning to paradise. You see this in a lot of the Christian stories. I can't say, I'm not really sure about the other religions because I've never looked at them that deeply because I'm not interested in any of it, but I just know the Christian perspective because I was raised Catholic, which is a joke. I wasn't really raised Catholic. My mother wanted me to be raised Catholic, but I rebelled every step of the way. Told everybody it was stupid. But, they do at least talk about, the Christians anyway, talk about the Garden of Eden, right? So the Garden of Eden is just this idea that, at one time humans lived in paradise, right? And I don't think paradise means perfection, but I do think it means in harmony, where humans were living in harmony with nature and the environment and all of the life forms on the planet. And there wasn't malice, there wasn't evil, there wasn't greed, there wasn't corruption, there wasn't any of those things. So that, I believe at the depths of my being, the ancient people called these people leaf people or forest people, right? Is that these ancient people were living in harmony with everything around them. Like a lot of animals are doing to this day. Okay, so a lot of these ancient stories talk about the time when we will be returning to that. We will be relinking back up with this inner light before these forces came in and took people over, and that we are coming to a time now where that force is going to be leaving, but it is going to suck a lot of people with them because a lot of people are going to go that way. A lot of people are going to go that way. They're going to choose it. And they're going to make it really hard to not choose it, but you're going to have to trust your inner light. You have to always do what's right, no matter what the outcome, when it comes to stuff like this. All right? Because the stakes are really high. All right, we're at 24 minutes. I'm not quite at 30 minutes, so I think I'm going to close out now. And again, we'll see where this video goes. I just couldn't resist because there's just so much garbage out there and it makes me nuts. You guys know that. As much as I see what's happening and it makes me crazy, when I'm quiet and by myself, I actually feel a deep sense of connection though, and a deep sense of peace within my being. But then I just can't help myself for wanting to share with others to help keep them on the narrow path. But again, none of it's going to matter if you're not connected to this, if you're not completely enmeshed with your source creator, so that that information can flow directly to you. Because if it has to flow through a second party, that's going to fuck you up. Okay? It's going to fuck you up. There's nobody or nothing in between you and your source. Nothing. And until you know this, you will never be whole. Okay? Not in your human form. I'm not saying that if you die, you won't be reunited, but I'm just saying in your human form, if you do not attain this, okay, remember, your baby's dead and you only got the bag of clothes and diapers. All right? Signing out.